Hello, everyone. Hello, lovely people of the internet. How you are this morning, evening, or afternoon, or night, or wherever you are in the world. I hope you're
Early
good.
morning. Early
Yes.
morning.
Yeah, for you too. Michael is even earlier, so that's the spirit. That's how you wake up in the morning. A glass of GitHub or a cup of GitHub.
That's right.
Yeah, there's nothing nothing better to wake you up in the morning than pushing something to production.
Yeah, you should
realizing.
see my desk. It's covered with, okay, I'll show you. I've got like 30 something ounces of water. I've got probably what's considered an ungodly amount of coffee. And this is not like a normal coffee mug size. So say 2 cups of coffee and then a Starbucks mug, but with oatmeal.
Oh, nice.
So I'm covered. I'm covered.
The breakfast of champions.
That's right. And Twitch.
And Twitch, exactly.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, very early in the morning. So this is the start of our week, or kind of everyone's week, really, should be. Welcome to episode 3 of Week.init, the very first kind of weekly show we have on the Vonage Devs Twitch channel. My name is Paul Adelino. In case you didn't see the previous two episodes, I kind of act as a host for this show, but really it's about this lovely people that keep joining me. So today we have 2 new, let's call them characters,
Victims.
Victims. Yeah, that's a especially so early in the morning. So in the previous episodes we had Abdul and we had Igor doing iOS and Android, and in this third one we're going to do kind of the same thing we did in the previous 2, but in JavaScript, and see how it's on that side of things. But before we do that, let's kind of introduce our victims. So, Dwayne, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Dwayne Hemmings, and I'm a JavaScript developer advocate here at Vonage. So, word. Oh, I should look back.
So people can see you better.
Oh, let's not do that. Nobody wants that. Let's just
Too early.
make it as small as possible. As possible.
I think this one is the right one. Yeah, that's one. Okay, Michael. And
Yeah, so
not that people don't know you on Twitch, but just in case,
I'm new here.
Just for that one person that doesn't know you on Twitch.
Hey, you. Come here. Let me tell you. My name is Michael Jolly. Yeah, I am the video API advocate here at Vonage, so I get to play with WebRTC and our product OpenTalk a lot. Yeah, I made that little thing there on Twitter, and yeah,
and on Twitch.
And on Twitch.
You have a very, very, very popular Twitch channel. So and you do a lot of cool video stuff.
Don't believe the hype.
Well, at least I believe it. So that's sufficient.
But I do have a stream here on the Vonage Devs channel on Tuesdays. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow morning for me, Mistakes Were Made, where we always try to build something new and make a lot of mistakes.
And this show is going to be like a prelude to that. So it's going to be like a preview because a few mistakes will probably be made. So, yes.
That's fine. I was in a stream last week with Chris, and I think actually Lauren clipped this, and he said, "Oh, we got a different error. We're making progress."
So, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a bit like that. So
I think that's the great thing about Twitch is like YouTube, no one ever messes up. You never see a red squiggly line on YouTube, and you never see somebody's like test fail or a build fail on YouTube. But Twitch, it's all the warts. You know, you see the person bang on it for 3 hours because they missed a semicolon. You know.
Actually, you're telling us in the chat just before this show about someone that fell asleep on the stream.
Yeah, so this is a year or 2 ago. A guy was streaming. He was streaming video gaming, but he finished his game and was, I guess, sitting on his couch, just like relaxing after the game and talking to chat, but fell asleep and was like full out for hours. And his chat blew up. Everyone started coming. I think he got like thousands of followers during his sleeping time. Tons of subscriptions. Then finally he wakes up, and it's so perfect. It's just like this moment of joy when he realizes what's happened. Like he wakes up and he looks over at the camera and he realizes like people are chatting and like they're all like, "I think he's waking up. Oh, I think he's waking up." You know, it's so fantastic. And actually, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reached out to him after that and like gave him a free mattress, like to help him sleep better at night. And it's really fascinating. So don't worry, Dwayne. If it's not good, Paul and I will probably just fall asleep. It's really early here.
No one will blame you.
Yeah. The channel's views are going to go way up if you just knock off. So you can do no wrong. You can really do no wrong.
Exactly. The only way is up from here.
We will see.
So, do you want to tell us, Dwayne, what's happening today?
Yes. So today, so in the previous episodes, you've seen my colleagues build a messaging app on the different platforms. So like Paul said, we did iOS and Android. So now we're going to take it to the web and bring the web to the conversation. And so we're going to make this happen. And cool. So I guess we'll get started.
Then. Let me just give a couple of shout outs to the people in the stream. We have
and also I'm doing live coding, so please feel free. If I miss something, let me know in the chat and stuff. So
we'll tell you first, don't worry.
Okay, cool.
But
I forget semicolon.
Exactly. Awesome. So we have lots of people in the chat already. So
nice.
We have
terrifying.
Lauren, Benjamin. We have Skywolf. Hello, Sky.
Oh, that's cool. Skywolf.
We have Sabitog. Sadiptog. I always pronounce it wrong. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. What about Linux? Skywolf asks. We have a Linux SDK actually for the video. We don't have one for the client SDK yet.
But you can always hit the endpoints if you like, because we have the endpoints out there.
Exactly. So in the next one in 2 weeks, we're going to actually use the conversation API, which is the API behind the client SDK, so you can see directly how to do all that magic yourself. So deep too. Okay. I got that. Cool. Okay. I'll share your screen, Dwayne. Yeah.
Cool. Where's everybody from? Just let me know in the chat. Just where everybody's
from. Let's put some flags in the chat. Where is everyone from?
Well, I'm bad with flags, so for me, put the actual country. So, all right. So, I figure we'll kind of start off with an overview of kind of like how everything is going to be, how everything is working, kind of behind the scenes. So, it all starts off with the application, right? And in the application, we have users. Now, so the users are in the application, but then we create a conversation. And so the conversation is where all the action's happening. And so when you add users to the conversations, they become members. And now you can have multiple conversations, and then inside each one are separate users, but they can be members. They can only be members of one conversation, but users can be members of multiple conversations. So so you can have multiple conversations, but like the members are kind of separated, but could be the same users. Hopefully that made sense, I think.
Yeah, so users you can have a user can only be in the application one time, but they can join multiple conversations as members.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get it.
Cool. All right.
It's easier if you think of it in terms of memberships. It's easier because you can be a member in a conversation multiple times as one user.
This seems like a lot. The thought pattern reminds me of like text threads on my phone, where it's only me on my phone, but I can be in this group thread or that group thread or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, okay. So in different conversations.
Yeah, in different conversations. Holy cow, I didn't know it worked so well.
All right, so then there's that. Now, like we said before, so now we have a written tutorial of everything that we're going to go through, and it's on the developer.nexmo.com website. I don't know if anybody wants to put like that into the chat or anything, that'd be great. But so we're just going to kind of go through this. And so, of course, everything starts off with prerequisites. So we're going to kind of talk about that. So, of course, you're going to need a Nexmo account. And then you're also going to need, so if you would like to get a Nexmo, a Vonage account, you just go to developer.nexmo.com if you want to put that in the chat as well, and you'll be able to sign up for an account there as well.
So if you get confused between Nexmo and Vonage name, we're going at the moment for a rebranding exercise. We were Nexmo, we're transitioning to the Vonage name, and Nexmo is now Vonage. Or you can call it Vonage, the business previously known as Nexmo.
Formerly known as.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so now you'll need Node.js. And so if you don't have it already, then you can go to nodejs.org/download and get it from there as well for your separate operating systems and things of that nature. And then now a lot of this stuff was already previously done for us, with Igor and Abdul and Paul earlier, but you would also need the Nexmo CLI. So you'll need that as well. And then, so to do that, you just do npm install Nexmo-CLI at beta-g. So the Vonage one is coming up as well also. So that's going to be super cool soon. And then, and I'm sure Paul and everyone previously showed how to set up your local development with the Nexmo setup, getting your API key and your API secret. And those come from the dashboard when you set up your account. Cool. We're good.
Sounds good.
All righty. And then we'll also need to install the Client Sdk. So that's where we're going to start off now. So here we are in the terminal. And I'm in my projects folder. So wherever you want to start your project, you can do that. I'm going to create a project folder. So what do we want to call it? Did we call it anything else before, or a specific name?
The app.
So V-app, right?
It's called the V app.
Nice, the V app. And then we're gonna. Oh, I forgot the. I'm sorry.
No.
It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You have to say the whole thing.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Okay, and then we're just gonna go to V-app. Cool. So now we're gonna start a new project because we need to install the Client Sdk. So that's a Node package. So we're gonna need to set up a Node project, and to do that, we're gonna do init. See, my brain just npm init. See that? Yep. See, it's already began. And then -y, and -y so that we just accept all the defaults. Cool. There we are. And now might as well install the SDK. So I'm going to copy that like any good coder and paste that here. And so now what's happening is it's going to npm and is downloading all the goodness that is the Vonage Client SDK. And so hopefully my internet.
I don't have an IAT cat on the ready, unfortunately. But we had that before with Android.
Oh yeah, but it's so quick that you don't even need that. It'd be like one Nyan and stuff.
Yeah, Igor had the Nyan cat as a plugin added to his Android Studio. So every time he ran a task, literally he had the Nyan cat bar.
Yeah, this is my work laptop. I leave this plain as possible. So
I've already learned something. That -y on the npm init is going to save me like when you do npm init, it doesn't save you that much. I mean, it's not that long to go hit enter. Yes.
But you have to hit the enter though.
Yeah, but over time, boy, that's going to save me a lot of time.
Oh, there we go. So stream done. You learned something. I'm done. So,
okay, see you later.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. All right. So now we're going to take everything over to the actual. Let me get into the code editor. So we're going to use VS Code. I'm going to open that folder.
Let's just take a second, Dwayne, and
yes.
I just want to give a shout out to Sky Wolf on the chat because he literally just sent a commit as part of Hacktoberfest to one of our repos, and I think that's amazing.
Nice. Thank you, Sky Wolf. Sky Wolf, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Sky Wolf sounds like they should be in your background, Paul. Like it's just like on one of the mountains.
That's true. Yeah,
that is kind of awesome. So
yeah,
sounds like
just howling at the moon. That'd be super cool.
Yep. Hey, Dwayne, can I repay the favor with your -y?
Yes.
I think you can do this in Mac. I do it on Windows, but if you go back to the terminal.
Sorry, Michael. What's Windows?
the OS that winners use. That's why it's called Windows. And also you fall asleep at it, so it's Windows. Anyway, you can type code space dot.
See, normally, yeah, is a thing if you set up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't have that set up. Again, work laptop. Yeah.
Really?
Look,
I did it when you install it.
No, I think it's a thing you actually have to implement on your own.
No, you need it's in the settings. You need to enable it.
Yeah.
I think you get
settings of VS Code.
Yeah, you get a prompt when you install it, but if you don't do it, you'll need to go to the settings and do it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I don't do anything on here.
Forget it. I'll figure out something else to pay you back with.
Just your presence here is more than enough. So thank you. All right. So I guess let's get started with some code. So as with anything, it starts with it. Oh, also notice when we did that install, we have a new nodes modules here. And then we also have the package JSON, which lists the Nexmo client right here. And so we're using 6.0.16. And then also for Node, if you're going to use the Client SDK or any package from us, you need at least Node 6 and up. And so if you want to check that, you can actually go to, so in your terminal, eventually, all right. So you can just type in Node-V, and that'll tell you the version that you have. And so you need, I think the documents say 4, but just to be safe, 6. So there's that. Cool. All righty. So now let's get started with some code. And like I said, every project starts with an index.html. Cool. So now what we want to do is, okay. So now I'm sure a lot of people know both Emmet. You can just hit exclamation point and then tab, and then that will give you, let me make this bigger. Oh, I can make this smaller. So that gives you the basic template to start off an HTML file with. And so what do we want to call the title? Is VApp? The VApp?
The VApp, yeah.
We're going to be fancy. The VApp.
Oh, that's even
better.
There
you
go. That's just...
You got to. All right. So, okay, let's, do we want to do, let's just do let's get our SEO game up. So let's do a description.
Well, Dwayne's coming in hot today. He's getting serious about it.
Hey, you gotta be serious. This is JavaScript. I don't know. All right, so the only I don't know the app across all platforms. I don't know. I'm sorry. So it's super early for me. All right. You got the char set. Good. Viewport. Awesome. All right. So now let's start. So I'm going to save this. And I'm going to open it. Do you know if I can, let me see. Can I just make this over here? Nope. Guess not. All right.
Hey, Paul, Jay Walter asked a great question in chat. Are there any plans on adding the communications API? Do you mean, I think he means the conversations API to the Java SDK?
The answer is yes. Stay tuned. It's happening. I can't give you a timeline, but it will happen.
I think it's technically in beta right now, right?
The conversation API is in beta, yes. So beta products are not entirely supported by the server SDKs.
I like the way when you say it. It sounds like for me, it sounds like you're saying better. So when you say that, it's like better APIs are not in the SDK at this time.
Are you telling me I'm British now?
You may have lived there too long.
Yeah, probably.
Which reminds me, has anybody said where they're from, or?
Yes, actually, we had some really good. So we had Maryland, India, Miami, Florida.
It's Merlin. It's Merlin.
Merlin.
Merlin. Just for all the people, not Maryland. It's Merlin.
So this pronunciation is really, really local. So I went to Cornwall this summer, and there was this tiny village that literally the name is Mouse Hall, right?
Mhm.
The locals don't like to pronounce that; they pronounce it muzzle.
Huh.
But about 10 miles further down the road, there's another one called Foxhole. That is pronounced Foxhole. It's not Fuzzle.
Are they? I wonder if they're just like insecure about being, mouse.
The mouse next to the
Probably,
fox. Yeah.
It's full of caves, by the way, where pirates used to hide their work, and contraband stuff used to be hidden.
Huh.
So, yeah,
That's cool.
That's the name for the holes.
Nice. Week.init. Random facts.
Yeah, there's Frackberg. Apparently, Frackberg is hiding in Michael's basement.
It's okay. I tied him back up.
Okay, nice. So he's not on the loose anymore. Okay,
he's
cool.
not on the loose. He doesn't have a laptop anymore. We won't see him.
So we're safe. The internet is safe.
There's someone actually closer to me here in Norfolk, in UK. If you know, there's a very famous sketch about the North Norfolk radio show.
North Norfolk.
Yeah, you should watch it. Chicago, Illinois. Did I pronounce Chicago right?
Yep, Chicago. Chicago.
Cool. Yeah, we have a truly international audience.
Nice.
Yeah, got a Sweden in there.
Oh, Sweden, yeah.
Sweet.
Sweden.
It's going to be a silly show. I can feel it. This is going to be great.
Hey,
so
can we just say so Ben asked in chat, what happened to Dwayne's van?
Oh, wait. Somebody's asking, how does somebody know about my van?
It's Ben.
Ben, yes. It's still there. So because this is super important. So I want it to be a place where there's like actual stable internet. And so I'm actually in a house now. So yeah. So once I get the van set up and hopefully with, everything set up, I will be broadcasting from there at some point. But for right now, I really want to make sure I didn't mess this up because I'm probably going to mess up in other ways. I don't want the internet to be one.
For those that don't know, Dwayne has like literally the coolest van ever.
I don't know if it's cool.
Come on, when you got like solar panels and antennas and all kinds of stuff where he can like travel from meetup to meetup. But also, I always like to remember the clip with Chris Farley from SNL, where he's like, straighten up, or you're going to end up living in a van down by the river.
Haven't found my river yet because I can't really travel, but at some point. So yeah, so look forward to that at some point. Oh, you know what's funny? And then I was speaking with actually, I don't know which Ben it is, but I was speaking with Rabbi Ben, and Steve earlier. And so Steve was like, Dwayne's living in the moment. And I was like, oh, that'd be a cool name for a van.
Oh,
so now I'm living.
You need to get that on the tag.
Moment.js.
RIP.
Ooh.
Which we're gonna actually talk about that also.
Too soon, Paul. Too soon.
So, I know. I think me and Dwayne actually spoke about this last week.
Yeah. And we're gonna cover that a little bit later when we're formatting dates and things. But but I mean, it's cool that the folks at Moment.js kind of like recognize like, hey, the browser has kind of finally caught up with what we were doing, and so now it's time for us to kind of like sunset this. So,
but it's a good kind of news, right? Because you don't want that to hang around for too long. So
yeah, exactly. All right. So what I've done thus far is this: I just added a login form, and so I have the H1 to let you know it's a login. Of course, I got to have a label for the input, and then a button to submit everything. And so that gives us this. Great. Now let's so this is what someone's going to enter their name in to get to there. Now let's because we're just going to do all the different elements that we need, and then we're going to style it, and then we're going to add some interactivity through JavaScript. So that's the plan. All right, and so now we're going to do a section, and we're going to call that section messages because that's where our chat messages are going to go. And then we're going to have it. Oh, here we go. H1. We're going to call that. Now, this is going to be where the person who enters their name in is going to say their like messages. So names, messages. So we can identify the user. We're going to do another div. We're going to call this one. We're going to actually have a button because we don't want to, if there's like a million messages, we don't want to load all the messages. So we're just going to load like the latest 10, and and then we'll have a button if somebody wants to load previous messages. So that's going to go into this load section. And so, like I said, we're going to have a button. We're going to call it load messages.
Would that be something similar to like how Slack and other apps, like you scroll up and you can go see older messages and then keep scrolling, it loads in those messages at that time?
Yep, but this is just going to be a button.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
I mean, if somebody wants to fork it and then add that, that'd be kind of cool.
Be great. Yeah, somebody asked if they could rewrite this in Vue.js later. Absolutely, Skywolf.
Oh, yeah. Hey, shout out to Skywolf. Skywolf is ambitious. I like it.
I know it.
We're going to add actually all the repositories in a kind of big, all the different iOS, Android, and JavaScript into one big repository on GitHub, and we'll have that available for next time.
Yeah, and then so like because the one that's on there now is kind of like outdated because it's using Moment.js. So if anybody wants to, because I'm going to do it without it, but if you want to do a pull request and take that out there, that'd be cool.
That'd be a good Hacktoberfest.
Super Hacktoberfest.
Issue. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So now what I'm doing is that, so you're going to have the button, and then below that, we're going to say showing, and then we're going to say however many messages starting at a certain date. So I'm doing all this just so we can show all the different information that you can pull from the Client Sdk from a conversation. So messages count, and that's going to go there. We got another span, and then the message date. Cool. All right, we got that there. All right, and then we already close off the div. Cool. Now here,
this is amazing. Skywolf is 14.
Oh wow, nice.
What?
He's asking if you can work at Vonage. You can totally can in 4 years when you're legally allowed.
Yeah.
Well, we do have the well, how does that work? Because we do have the spotlight. Do you have to be 18 to do that, or?
I bet you do.
I think you Spotlight is the one where you write.
The blog post. Yeah.
We write a blog post for us.
Lauren or Ben are in chat. They can probably answer that for us.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
Lauren, is there an age limit? I bet. I don't know.
Yeah, there's Voyagers as well. So
yeah, but I think Voyagers has an age limit too.
Probably.
I don't know. I can't keep up with it. It's
so cool.
18. Both of them have an 18 age limit. Yeah.
Just do sudo dad, and you should be okay.
That's right.
So this is where we're at now. So we have this. So now, all right, cool. Now we're going to work on the actual. So you can't see the message feed, but it's there. And that's where all the messages are going to appear. Then we also need a way of actually putting in the message. So
and we can the only reason we can't see it is because there's not any, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just an empty div right now. But we're going to, through JavaScript, put some messages in there. All right, and now let's do another div. We're going to call this, there was no name on this one, just regular div. And now we're going to have a text area. And this is where the user is going to put in their message.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was preparing something, and it showed in the screen for a tiny second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did what now?
I wanted to prepare something so we can tell the stuff at the end, and I've added my screen to StreamYard, but I didn't know it automatically actually shows it, so it went over yours, but I reverted it.
Oh, that's fine. Nothing important happening. Not yet until we get to the JavaScript.
Exactly.
Just joking. HTML is super important. Without HTML, we would not have any structure to the internet. So, thank you to HTML. All right. Cool. And then we're going to have a status, which you will see what that's going to be kind of cool later on. All right. So that's what we have now. Cool. Let's see. Bam. Oh, looks good. Looks great. But you know what? We can make it look better. So we're going to add some styling to it. So let's do that. So to do that, at the top here, because we want that to load early, we're going to add a link. And the relative is that it's a style sheet. And so, yep, see, I already, okay, I can't spell. There we go. Mistake was made.
Isn't there I think there's a shortcut for that.
Probably,
because I can't type it either.
Yeah, I know no short. Yeah, it's probably like link tab or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Something like that, or maybe even CSS.
Probably. Okay, so well, there we go. So now we just need to actually create this. How are we doing on time? Because do you want me to start copying and pasting stuff, or are we good?
We good. We good.
All right, cool. Awesome. So now we're going to go into our styles. All right, so we're going to start off with the body. I'm just going to set our random font size. So 13 because it's a lucky number.
Random.
For live coding. Yeah, this is just going to make up something.
We need some kind of script that will randomly generate
13
a CSS. With like know how we want the page to look. We need a body. We need a this. We need a that. And then it just randomly selects fonts and sizes for all of it. Colors.
Oh, that'd be awesome. On every page load, that'd be great. That's super UI.
I wasn't even thinking every page load. I was just thinking for this app.
When you just make it. Oh, that'd be cool.
You
could probably do that with like on the back end once it's called, just generate it and then just have it load it. That's next week. So I'm just giving you more work. I'm sorry. All right. Cool. So now I'm just the login and the message is see, here we go. This is why I would just copy and paste things. All right.
And you need some PX on the width, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are correct. Thank you. PX. All right. And then we got the form input. So the type is text.
Skywolf, Tailwind is amazing. And if you use Tailwind, you should use Tailwind UI. And I think they're coming up with some components now that you can use with Vue and React and other frameworks.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, I think there wasn't Tailwind like he was like charting his journey, the person that created it, and like I think they just did, look, that's funny. I got a typo in my type, and there was and I think there's like they were I think he was like charting his journey, and he just passed like a milestone or something, and I was like, oh, that's cool. The internet, it's you can be as open as you want, which is kind of cool and scary. All right, so now I'm actually. So what color do we want the button to be?
Red.
Red, nice. You said that kind of like passionately. So we're just gonna go with red.
Yeah, I was gonna say it kind of scared me a little.
Yeah, I was like,
red.
Okay. Everybody keep an eye on Paul. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell people where I'm from. So they might need some garlic in their pockets.
Red.
All right, and then let's go with 15px because random. All right.
Please don't ask us the color again, Dwayne. Just pick one because I'm afraid next time Dwayne or Paul will be like, black is my soul.
Yep.
Weird. Hold on. Did I get this wrong? Style that CSS.
Do you need the trailing slash?
I don't think so. What's going on here? Of course. SCYL, yes. That is spelt right?
I think if you remove a dot and the slash and just leave it like that, that should
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not inside the server, so I think that.
Nope. Huh. Nope. All right. What is? And I have it. Oh, I might have spelt something wrong. No button. Anybody got any ideas?
It looks good.
Okay, well, just keep on going, and then maybe something will happen. Because I have we'll see. Of course. All right. Because it should be calling it. Hold on, let me make sure that it's actually getting the file. No, that's not going to work because I have it in the right place. Link, ref, style sheet, href, right? Okay, if anything, it might just
I think
inline stuff.
it's not ref, it's rel.
Yeah, it's rel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, the ref, the first ref.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think I said rel, and yeah, it's early. I'm thinking of like what you call it. There we go. Nice. I'm thinking like what you call it, React or something, because everything's a ref.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool, awesome, great. So that's what we have now. Cool, looks good. Now go back to the styling. Now let's do the text area. Almost done. We're gonna do the width, not width. 85%. Cool. And then, like I said, we have our message feed. That's where all the messages are going to go.
There's some debate on the chat about semantic HTML and kind of, and I think is it a button or is it input type button or input type submit?
So, okay. So now I'm using submit because I wanted to submit the thing. But if you had like another button in there, I think any button, unless you put type button, it would do it as a submit. So if you ever needed to do something else besides submitting on the button, you'd have to put type button. But since I'm submitting it, I'm just going to put type submit.
Sounds good.
So yeah. Cool. It's going to set a random line height there. Status. And I'm pretty notorious, just to let you know, as far as like double quotes and single quotes, I kind of do it as I feel. So like you can call me out and be like, hey, you've been using double quotes, but now you're using single quotes. I kind of just whatever is faster for me, I think, in my brain. So if it kind of like I already have the shift down, then I'll do the double quotes, but neither there. All right. I like backticks anyway. So backticks for the win.
Should it be status?
You are correct, sir. Thank you.
I win.
All right. And then so we're just in a couple of more. So that's the status. You're going to see what that is. That's going to be kind of cool. I forgot to tell you, Paul, but we'll come to that later. I'll send you a link somewhere because I'm going to need like someone to participate a little bit in order to show what's going to happen.
I'm already ready.
Nice. Cool. And then the actual messages. So now we don't want messages to show up because the person hasn't logged in yet. So we don't need to see all this. So we're going to set that to display none for right now and get it out of the way. There you go. Awesome. Easy, simple as that. All right. And then we got the load section. Again, that's where the button is. Now we're going to do something fancy. We're going to do a flex display. What? And then we're going to, my pretty much go-to is align item center and justify content center. That's just pretty much what I do on the regular. And then if I need to fix it, I will play around with it.
It's just a fancy way of doing text align center, right?
Well, yeah, but there's a bunch of
it does both, right? Top and height, like, vertical and horizontal.
Yep. And since I have so many different things in there, it's just kind of easier just to do that. So all those different elements, and then load messages. So also, we want the load messages, like that section, the button. We don't want that to show up if there's no other previous messages, because what are you loading if there's no other previous messages? So yeah, so we're gonna make that display none as well. Cool. And then so that should be everything as far as. So look at that. Oh, that looks nice. So much better. All right, especially with the red. All right, now let's get into the part that's my actual job title. So let's create some JavaScript. So we're gonna make a new file. Let's call it script.js. You want to call it script.js? No, it's a chat. So let's make it chat.js. A little bit more All right, now we need to call the chat.js from our HTML. Cool. And then we're going to do that at the bottom because we want that to we want the HTML and everything to load. And then on top of that, put the JavaScript. So right below here, right before the body tag, we're going to have a script, if I could spell. And now we need to bring in the client SDK. And so to do that, we need to go into our nodes module folder. And then under right there, Nexmo client, and then it's the dist. And then what we're looking for is this Nexmo client.js right there. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of code. All right. That's all. That's the magic sauce behind the client SDK. So to get to that, we're going to go to the node modules, node underscore modules. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Shout out to VS Code. What's the we met him when you were here in Brian, right? Was it Brian?
Yeah, Brian Clark.
Yeah. Shout out to him. He works. Well, does he work on VS Code?
No. He's an Azure developer advocate, but he I don't know. I guess maybe he's with developer tooling because he does a lot with VS Code. I think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, 'cause I saw him always working on some stuff. So
he does their announcements, like when new release announcements come out. He does the videos for that.
Nice. All right, and so here we're bringing in the client SDK, and then let's bring in our chat.js. Great. So we'll save that. Now what we want to do is to make sure that we have the actual Nexmo client SDK in our chat.js. We can close out this. Oh, I totally just closed out the wrong thing. That's good.
Let me show you another trick doing Command K.
Command K. What does that do?
Collapse it.
No, you should waiting for the second key of code. No, isn't it?
What? Stop.
Command P.
I don't know. We're already off kind of the rail, so let's not derail this train anymore. All right. So now, like I said, let's get a reference to the client. And soon this is going to be a Vonage client. Shouts to Kelly, who's been working on it and is looking.
They're actually rewriting this in TypeScript, aren't they?
I believe so, yes.
That makes my heart so happy.
So now, one thing if you know about me, I love the console log, if I could spell it. And just in case, because I like to make sure that everything is working the way I want it to work. So you'll see a lot of console logs and things. And so let's just make sure that we have a reference to the client.
Yeah, Frankberg says that I love the console derp. Yeah, the console dir. I call that console derp because if I'm using it, it's probably because I did something stupid.
Well, I try to do it before I do something stupid. So which looks like I may have. Oh, of course. We have did I misspell it or something? Oh, I think I need a dot.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Can everybody see that? Maybe I need to make this bigger because we're gonna show a few things in the console log. All right, cool. So yeah, so now we have the Nexmo client or the Vonage client, soon to be named. All right, so let's we're going to, so we got what we need there. Cool. So now I would like to set up some constants that should come from the server. So these things being like the user, the JWTs. So we'll call it, gets to call it Dwayne because it's for me. JWT. And so that's going to equal something that we're going to generate a little bit later. And then I'm going to need one for Paul because in order to show the thing that I wanted to show later, we're going to need one for you. And then,
it's fine because I'm going to talk to you from the other side of the fence.
You're going to use like the iOS or
iOS, yeah.
Well, see, the thing is, I wanted to. Well, I'll unveil what I wanted to do. Is that I wanted to show the Did you all implement the sending the start typing and stop typing events?
No, we didn't.
Oh, see, then yeah. So we'll have to do it from here. What were you guys doing? You guys all that time.
Jeez,
Oh.
I know. I mean, how
Download
many
the
streams
Xcode.
have you guys had?
2. We were downloading Xcode for most of it. Joking.
Makes sense. All right. So again, these variables should come from the server, but for right now, we're just going to hard code them. And then that's what our friend Michael Jolly is going to be working on next Week.init. So, and then what I like to do next is get reference to the different elements that we have in our HTML. And then so we're going to do get the username that the person typed in. How am I doing on time? We're okay? I'm probably running out of time, aren't we?
I don't know what time it ends.
Neither do I.
I'm here all day.
Yeah, this isn't it cool? Like we get paid to do this. It's kind of awesome. It's amazing. Oops. We also need the message. Oh. You know what? I'm just going to just. All right.
We should probably tell people not to build this at home if their homes is built with ES5, because this is ES6 syntax, right?
Yes. So, well, most modern browsers are still pretty good as far as. So if you have like an updated browser, all this should work. And then like, yeah, because I think, yeah, I mean, even on IE, like this should also work.
Now, let's be clear. If you're on IE, you shouldn't be allowed on the internet.
You have other problems.
Yeah. You have bigger fish to fry.
Sopito is asking in the chat if he should go for dev roles or devrel roles. I think he's talking about getting a job.
I mean, well, see, it kind of depends on what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as with anything in coding, the answer is it depends. So,
also probably as someone just started, because he's doing his programming assignment for some courses he's doing. So probably out of the bat, I would say go for dev roles, mainly because you have more choice. You're gonna get to try and see what you like doing. Try and do some public speaking and see if you like it. If it's not something you like, I don't think a devrel role might be necessarily a good choice for you. Obviously, depends on exactly what you want to do, but try it first.
Yeah.
Skywolf says he will work for Vonage Swag.
There we go.
That's exactly what we do.
You think I got paid? Oh, no, this is just, I'm trying to get those socks. Those bamboo socks.
We get paid in socks.
Yeah, I'm trying to get these bamboo socks.
And hoodies. I have one
and
here.
Hoodies. Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of hoodies.
Gotta have the hoodies. So soft. All right. So I'm just getting the references, like I said, to the different parts. I'm sorry?
I have a black one as well. So I have lots of hoodies here.
I've got a couple black hoodies.
I have a third next one. I'm having too many things here.
Are you in your closet, Paul?
What's that?
Are you in your closet?
What do you think?
Right behind the sheet is the hangers.
No, it's I'm in my office in the loft, and it's getting chillier now because it's colder outside. So I keep getting stuff here, and then it's getting warm, and I keep leaving them here. So probably should take them downstairs again.
All right. So now what I'm doing is I'm just setting some global variables that we'll need throughout the different functions. And so things like the actual conversation that we're going to get from the Client Sdk, the listed events, that's supposed to have an S. So we want to keep track of what has been listed. We'll see why. We're going to start off the message count with 0 because we don't have anything yet. Mm-hmm. And then the date that we're going to use the in browser goodness that, you don't really need moments for anymore. So cool. So once we set up all the different variables, I like to set up some listeners, some event listeners, so we know what kind of we're going to be listening for. And so we kind of like to set up here. And so we want to be able to, on the login form, we're going to listen for the submit. Submit. Cool. And so that's going to give us an event. If I could spell event. And then in that event, now since we're doing a submit, we of course would like to prevent the page from refreshing. So we're going to do a prevent default on there. Cool. There we go. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to get, again, it should be done on the server, but we're going to authenticate the person who logged in and get their JWT that we're going to set, or we're going to hard code. But so we're going to, and then that's going to come back from a authenticate username dot value, and that this is going to come from that input here. The person types in there. Cool. All right, and then so we still have to write that function authenticate, and so now if there is a user token, what we want to do is, oh come on, we're going to switch out the messages. Did I get a reference to the messages itself? No, I did not. All right, let me do a. Oh, I already have a mess. Oh, no, I don't. Okay. Messages. Come on. Pretty sure I called it messages. All right. So now messages dot style dot display. We're gonna show that up so we can see it. Again, I'm doing like double quotes and single quotes. I'm sorry.
Looks like it changed your style.
Oh, yeah, it did. Oh. Thank you. Cool. I'm horrible at typing, as you can probably see. So then we're gonna hide the login form. Did I call it login or login form? Login form. All right. Yep, it did it. Okay, nice. It did it. Yeah. Again, it depends on if I feel like pressing the shift key. All right. So then from there, we need to run the setup function that's going to set up everything that we need. Oh, what the? Okay. Thank you, VS Code.
VS Code's like, trust us. That's what you want.
How do I stop it from doing that?
Take it.
Okay, so we're gonna pass in the use. Oh, come on. Okay. How do I stop it from doing that?
Just replace that text with setup.
Okay.
Or just call your method security policy violation event.
Oh man, this is awesome. Okay, please don't do that anymore. Okay, there we go. All right, I just have to. Woo. Okay.
Broke a sweat.
Oh, I'm buckets of sweat. All right, so now let's do semicolon. Now let's also put an event listener on the load messages button so that we can load the previous messages. Anybody have any questions or anything else going on in the chat or anything while I'm anybody's
Skywolf wants to know if they can get a hoodie. That's the only question so far.
Nice. I believe someone in the Ben or who else is in the chat from Vonage?
Oh, we got lots of folks. We get we did have Lauren. Yeah, Lauren. We got Greg. We got Ben.
You can get a hoodie, but you need to work at Vonage to get a hoodie.
So 4 more years.
4 more years.
Yes.
Trust me, they'll be even better by then.
Oh yeah, they'll probably be able to change colors and stuff on your thoughts.
Make sure you get good grades in school, son. So many are gonna get it.
I do like the one of the hoodies they gave us was it has like the thumb hole in the sleeve.
Yes,
I love that. I feel so hipster with it, but I mean, I feel too old to have something like that, but I really like it a lot.
So now we're going to write that function the authenticate function. And so again, remember, this is done on the server. All right, so we're gonna function authenticate. Come on.
Benjamin is asking what sort of security encryption comes with Conversation API. The answer is none. It's up to you to implement it. Conversation API is just a mechanism for you to have conversations within kind of a stream, if you like, and you can bring in whatever you authentication or security, whatever it feels like it's magic for you. Yeah, it comes with magic. It does.
Yeah, like it doesn't do like authorization. So as far as you have to set up your own sort of like login kind of thing that you can like authorize people with. We just make sure they are who you say they are, kind of thing, with the JWTs. Okay, so then, all right. So now, if the username is my name, then it's going to return my JWT. And then, if it's another one,
this should be done in the back end. You should be like logging somebody in, and then it generates a token and sends it back to you. But I mean, I've got to have something to stream in a couple weeks, so
exactly.
So he's leaving this out for now, so that I get to play.
Exactly. The only reason why.
He's a giver. Right. He's a giver.
Otherwise, if it's neither of those, we're going to alert box saying, "Hey, user not recognized." We'll put an exclamation point to let them know we're serious. All right, cool. So that's the authenticate part, right? And now we have to do the setup stuff. So what we want to do is, the load because we want to come back to this click event, the load messages button. So we're going to have to get the next set of events if it's there, and then we're going to want to list the events. Cool. So we're going to get back to that. Now, so let's start with the setup stuff. So, because again, this is probably a good time. Let me start filling these things in. So we're going to create the different, and so since Paul and crew did the hard work of setting up everything, all I have to do now is just plug in. So now, as you can see here, so we're using the Nexmo CLI. We're going to generate a JWT, and the JWT is what we use to kind of authenticate the user. And then here we have it set for 86,400, which is like a day, 24 hours. And then here's the ACL. Let me see. Right here is the ACL, and so that's the access control list, and it kind of sets what the user can or can't do on your application, or for the application. And here's the application ID, which they created earlier in previous episodes. So let me do this. Oh, also, yes, we need the actual good thing, because when you create an application, you get the .nexmo app and your private key, and those are used to generate JWT. So I'm going to paste that. Why won't that let me paste it in here?
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that you don't necessarily need them in the project. You can use them from that folder, but it's probably good to have them in the same place.
Yeah.
I don't think you can copy them in like that. You have to actually copy them into
the actual folder.
Yeah.
Oh, whack. Okay. We called it the app. Open a new tab.
Ben says, "Does conversations come with memes? It seems like the main way people communicate these days." It doesn't come with memes, Ben, but we accept all memes and dad jokes.
Yeah, it comes with image events, and you can send certainly memes through image events.
Yes.
But dad jokes you can use via text events.
That's right.
All right, so now, so we've got that. So let me generate the JWTs for myself.
Someone might have already implemented the typing in iOS as well, Dwayne.
The which one? Oh, really? Okay, nice. So we can test that out. Cool. Come here. That's super long. Here we go. And then so then you should be good then when you log into yours then, right? So that's what we're saying here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. One last thing. Great. So that's the super long JWT. All right. So now we've got that. So what should happen is
The conversation ID, I think, as well.
yes, exactly. Yep. Thank you. Which you gave me previously. And again, so that's like the chat room that we're all a part of.
Yeah, in a kind of real world scenario, you'll get all that information from a server.
Yep.
You get it dynamically, and yeah.
Okay, cool. So now let's
So
just
if Paul's going to log in as his, you don't even have to get his jot, do you?
Yep, exactly. Because that's going to be generated on the iOS platform. So now, okay, so let's
Skywolf, yeah. So one of the ways you become a member of the conversation is you request a token, a jot, and then once you get it back, then you can connect in. So yeah, you would have to be able to authenticate into the conversation. Depending on how you authenticate, that's up to you.
But that's for the users, not for the conversation necessarily. So
no. So he was saying so only people with a jot can use this. Only people with a jot can get into the conversation.
Yeah, and it needs a JWT that's actually part of the app as well. So it's even more effective than that.
Yeah.
What is happening here? Oh, I think it's because it's not in the DOM right now. Okay, well, we'll see. All right. Okay, so hopefully this will, bam. So it gives us a JWT. Awesome. And then setup. Let's work on setup because it's saying, hey, you don't have setup. So and then you can see it hit it, and then it showed the message and stuff here, which is all weird. We'll figure that out. All right, cool. Live coding, great. So now let's bring this back. I wonder why my load messages button said it wasn't. I don't know. We'll figure that out. All right, cool. So now let's work on the setup. So now it's going to have to be a sync function because we're going to await the login of the user client, of the user token, like, logging in the user, and then also of the getting the conversation. So it's function. And then we're going to set this flag debug true, just kind of so we can see everything that's happening with the Client Sdk. Cool. And then we're going to have our app. So we're going to get the client that we just created a new instance from the SDK, and we're going to log in. And we're going to use the user token to log in. Cool. And then we're going to get our conversation. And that's coming from the app, from the application that we created. And it has a method called get conversation. And we're going to use that conversation ID so that we know which one we want to get. So then we have our conversation. Now let's console log the conversation just to make sure we have a reference to it, because we're going to add some event listeners to it and things so that we can get information from it. Okay. It's probably going to throw some other errors, but work past that. Oh, setup is not defined. What? Setup is right there. Oh, I didn't save. Always remember to save. That is most of the times I get errors. Did it give me a conversation? Didn't give me a conversation.
You have an error on that add event listener. I think it's because the load message button
is not there. Yeah, it's not there yet. So let me. Nope, still. Oh, come on. Oh, man, what a day. Okay.
Further down. No. Further down. 61.
There we go. All right, still too early. Oh, oh, come on. Wait. Oh, Command S. Oh, Mac keyboards. Okay. All right, so now this should work.
What was the smack you were talking about? Windows? I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Who was saying what? I code on a Chromebook, so let's just All right, so now here's our conversation, and so the conversation is pretty cool because then you can see we have the different members of the conversation,
mm-hmm.
And then so there's me, and
those are there because I guess Paul and Igor and Abdul have been using this conversation.
Yep.
As they build the iOS and Android clients.
Exactly. So they're added as members, and you do that through the actual. You're going to do that on the actual on the server through the Node SDK, but in the previous ones they did it through the CLI in the terminal. So so you can see here's the display name and the conversation ID and a whole lot of other cool stuff. So
am I right, Paul, that like in our next episode? We'll be writing the server side of this to do that authentication and generate those things, and then you will all come back through your apps and change them to use that instead of be hard coded like this.
Yeah, we'll need to find a way to authenticate users, but basically we'll do like a pseudo authentication that the server will understand, and then the server will then communicate with the Nexmo kind of servers, and all it needs to know is just the application ID and have a public key, and from there on it can. And you need to tell the what user it is, and you GWT. You'll be able to list all the conversation that user is part of, to display like a list, and then go in different conversation, effectively replicating the messages app you have on your phone or the WhatsApp app.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now what I'm doing here, remember that session name? We're going to say so under conversation. So another cool thing is that under conversation. Okay. There's the me, and this is the information for the person that's logged in. And so conversation, me, user, and name. So that's what we're pulling out right here. So when we save this, refresh, there we go. So that's there. Cool. That worked. Great. Now, what we want to do now is that we have that information. Now we need to be able to get the different events, the messages that we want, right? So this is the first setup. So we're going to call it the initial events that we're going to call. And so we're going to wait. So on the conversation, there's a get events method. And so now we just need to tell it the type of events, how many, and in what order do we want to get the events back. And so we have the event type. And so like you were saying before, we can have like images, we can have audio, we can have all sorts of things. But right now, this is just a text chat. And so we're going to set that to text. Now the page size is how many events we want to get back. So
that will filter the events based on the type. That will only return events with the event type of text.
And then what we want to do is we want to get the latest messages first. So you can either do ascending or descending. Ascending would start from the very first message, but we don't want. We're just going to get the last 10 messages to display. So that's what that does there. And now, like we said before, we want to be able to list the events. And since we're going to list events there and here, we're going to separate that out in another function just to be a little bit more, efficient. So we're going to list the initial events.
So, well, this will be in a GitHub repo. I don't think it's out there right now, right, Paul?
Yeah, like there's like an older one, but it's using Moment.js and stuff. So we will
tidy this up and tidy the iOS and Android up and release it as one repo with all of them before the next episode, which is in 2 weeks on the 26th.
So come on back for the fun.
If you drop us a message on Twitter or something, I can send you the link before ahead of time if you want to do the view version of this.
Or join the community Slack, !Slack in chat.
There you go.
Oh, always the professional Twitch streamer. Nice. All right. So now, so what we should get back now. So like I said, we're going to get the events. It's the type text, the last 10. And so we're going to pass it into this list messages right here. And then we're just going to console log that out because, again, I like console logs. So refresh. All right. So now here we go. Oh, and all these things are from the debug, from that flag we put in when we created the Nexmo. But right here, this is the good stuff here. So notice it's a type events page. And what's cool, so here are the different items in there. And so as you can see, it's descending and it's the last 10. And if you notice, it's an object of type like map. Because a lot of times you'll see it as like an array that'll come back sometimes. But the Nexmo Client Sdk, well, it comes back as a map. And so if you want to go down a rabbit hole, if you look up like map object, like capital M on like MDN. And so from what I understand, it's the way that the key value pairs are like stored and things. It makes it a better suited for if you're going to do a lot of like a lot of adding and deleting from things, like adding in data. So
because it's indexed there.
Like, yeah, it's indexed like differently. So it's, and then it also, the order you put it in is the order that comes out as well. Even though I think later, I think ES 2020, I think regular objects do it now, but before this is like a better option.
I don't want anything with 2020.
Yeah, they should just pretty much skip that.
Yeah, skip that one.
Yes, 2020.
And so here we go.
Good can come from this.
As you can see, so here's the key, and here's the different values for it, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so here's who it's from.
So like that, and that body would have the actual message. And
yep, and then so you can see exactly. So yeah, so there's that.
Oh, it's even got who it was seen by?
Yep, you can even put like seen by. So
that's pretty legit.
And then the time stamp and all that. Kind of amazing. So yeah, so super cool stuff. Again, that's why I like console logs. All right. You kind of get to see the behind the scenes and learn more about it. So that's why I'm a big fan of console logs. And plus I'm probably showing my age, but Ren and Stimpy, they had like the log song. So that always stuck with me as a kid. So if you want to have something stuck in your head for the rest of the day, you can look up Ren and Stimpy log song. All right. So now, so now that we have the messages, let's go in through and I'm going to set a variable, a local variable, just to kind of clear out the messages that we get through here. And I'm thinking now I should probably, because I set messages before, which probably, okay. Let's call this list messages. Sure, what could go wrong? All right. So we want to set something just to be empty for right now, because you'll see why. So now, in the events here, so this is another cool thing in the events. If you look in the prototype here for the page, you'll see that there's inside the constructor, there is, where'd it go? There's these two different values that will tell you if it has a next page or a previous page. I think it's under here. Yeah, has next, has previous. I don't know. But these work out to be, let me, you know about the save as a local thing here? Where is it? Save, store as global variable. So now what we can do is, so temp1, we can see, are there next pages? So has next. And see, it's true because there's more than 10 pages. But if we, let's say, want to see if there was a previous, can everybody see that? Or can you see what I'm typing here? Or should I make that bigger?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so yeah, so you can see, so this returns a Boolean whether or not there are previous pages of events or the next pages of events. So that's kind of so that's what we're going to use here to let us know whether or not we should load that load messages button. So not sure why I do that. Events. And then we're going to do the load messages button. Display. We'll make that block.
Need an if there too on 78.
Oh, you are so right. Thank you. I got ahead of myself. I got so excited about the has next.
Has next.
Yes. All right. So then otherwise we're going to hide it. All right. So now hopefully, not sure why this was giving me an error, but we shall see. All right. Cool. Great.
Get your
Oh, yeah.
82.
There.
Yeah.
Got semicolon.
Where'd you go?
What happened? All right. Cool. All right. Now let's see what happens. The fun part is always when you hit refresh. Okay, so it's giving me an error. I'll have to figure that out. Why? Cool. So yeah. All right. So that showed up, and then there are previous things. So that's why that load previous shows up. Now, if I put or the next, there are next ones, but if I put previous, it shouldn't show up. Let me test that out. Nope, still showed up. Weird.
It's your that style is getting null. What is load messages button? Doesn't look like it's
yeah, I think I probably didn't reference that properly. Load messages button should be load messages. Yeah. See? Oh.
Still never gone.
Oh, of course. You know what? The computer is never wrong. So it is obviously something that I did. And so that's what I love about programming. Programming is like a very truthful friend who will just give it to you straight. They don't care about your feelings. They're like, look, this is where you're messing up.
This is where you say, do what I mean, not what I say.
And so you see the button is not there because there are no previous ones. But now that we can do next.
Just a shout. Look, Luke is in the house.
Oh! I better straighten up.
Luke from Vonage.
I better straighten up because
sit up straight.
Can't mess up with Luke in the house. Oh, you wanna? All right. Hey, Luke. All right. So now, with that, we're going to once we get those, we're going to replace the current listed events with the new page of events that comes in. So it's going to do listed.
But you could do whatever you want there. I mean, you could append to that list and make it scrollable kind of thing, or whatever.
Well, we're kind of like adding them as like blocks, as chunks.
Okay.
So each page is like its own set of things.
So you're not really replacing it. You're appending to, yes.
Well, because right now I'm going to actually loop through the events that are coming up, and so we'll see what happens here. So, so we have the events, and then in the events, I think I took it out. Hold on. Let me show you what we're going to look at now. And so now in the events, right here, we have our items. And so that's where everything, our map object is. Mm-hmm. So we're going to loop over that right now. And then as we get them, so now for every event, what we're going to do is, of course, console log it just to make sure so we can take a look at each individual one. If I could type and spell. And so here's every event. And as you can see, it's decreasing because that's what we wanted. Mm-hmm. And so let's take a look at one of them. Again, so it has all the information, the body, which has the text in there, the conversation itself, and the state, if it was seen and things of that nature, and the members and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Cool. So now what we want to do is that now that we have each event, we need to format the messages so that they're a little bit easier to read because this is a whole lot of stuff here. So what we want to do is we want a formatted message. and that's going to come back from a function that we're going to create called format message. And then with that, we're going to send in the conversation. We're going to send in who it's from. So conversation dot members dot get event dot from. So we're going to call on the conversation to get the information on who is sent from. So in the event, there's a from that you can see event from right here. So it gives us this, and so we're going to use that to ask the conversation like, hey, who's this person? Pretty much. So we're going to get that information from that. And then we're going to pass in the event itself, and then we're going to pass in our information. So that what we're going to do is with the formatting is that we're going to say, if it's somebody else, style it like this. If it's from me, style it like this. So that's what we're going to create there. And then when it comes back, we're going to add the messages. So we're going to take that formatted message. And then there. Cool. So now, and then after that, when we'll come back, but we'll update the UI. So let's get the actual thing here. So we're going to make another function. I'm going to call it format message. And so what we're going to, so we sent this, we passed in the sender, the message, and then me, like who I am. And then, so this is the part where we're not going to use moment anymore. So we're going to take the date, the raw date that comes from the conversation, the event, the text event. So we're going to do some date goodness. We're going to parse the message timestamp, which I showed here, right there. And then with that, we have to pass in some options. So I'm just going to copy and paste this because it's super long. I'll talk about it. All right, so now what we're saying is we want the seconds to be numeric, the minutes to be numeric, the hour to be numeric, the day is going to be numeric, the month is going to be long, so it's going to say like September instead of like sept, or October instead of OCT. And then the year is going to be a long one, and then like numeric, and then weekday. So it's going to fully say Monday instead of MON. Stuff. So there's that. Cool. Now, come on, my down button is kind of weird. All right, so now we're going to have the formatted date. And if it was, oh man, I don't know if it's, I'm normally not this bad at typing. Maybe it's because people are watching.
It's because people are watching.
Yeah. So, and then like the keyboard, I never really liked the keyboard because the travel is not the greatest. Like I like to know if I hit something. I don't know. So we're going to do the locale date string, which is built into the browser. And what's cool is if you don't set, because normally you could put like EN-US or whatever countries. If you leave it undefined, it will go whatever is on the person's browser. So if they have a different set, so that's pretty cool. I always thought that was kind of cool. So, and then we pass in our options, and then cool. And then, so what we want to do now is we're going to let text be a blank string. And then we're going to increase our messages count, because remember, we're keeping account of that. And then we're going to, the message date is going to equal to the formatted date. Now, let's actually get into the whole styling. So now if the message, if the message from doesn't equal my ID, we're going to let the text equal backticks, because backticks are awesome. Span, style, we're going to make the color Paul's favorite color, red. And we're going to include the sender. Well, you'll be
Black
happy
will
to
be
know
default.
that if it's from us, then it'll be black.
Mhm.
So there we go. You can name
Black both cases.
but then we wouldn't
You
know.
would know.
Exactly.
And dark black and
Well,
white.
Paul doesn't want anybody to know, so I think he's hiding. Format. So we're gonna put the formatted date in here. I'm gonna put that in parentheses, and then the colon, and then we're gonna put the message in bold because it's super important. What people say is important, and text. So we're gonna have that. Cool. Close my tags, and then close the span.
Check out line 103. I think it changed your casing on formatted date.
Oh yeah, it did. Oh man, that's great. Sometimes, like I'm from the days of like Notepad++. So just let me do what I gotta do. Just like
Quit trying to change things.
exactly. Just I'm already gonna mess up, but don't help me in messing up. Text. So now if it's us, we're just gonna send back. So me with the date. Formatted dates. I think that's fine. And then we're gonna bold the actual message again. Okay. Close off that. All right, I think that's that. And then what we want to do is we're going to return the text. And then, but we're going to add on to that page line break. Otherwise, everything would be all together. All right, cool.
So check 107. We got me formatted date.
Yeah.
You need some curly boys there, don't you?
Yeah, you're right. I have
silly VS Code.
All right, cool. Yeah, I was wondering why it didn't change colors, but yes.
Yeah.
All right, so there's that. Now let's go back and let's update the UI. So this is where we're going to add it to the actual message list. So we have the feed. We're going to do inner HTML because we have like the bold and all that stuff and the colors and the styles. So we're going to do the messages and we're going to add on the previous message feed. Cool. And then we're going to add in the count span. We're going to set that text content to be the messages count. And then the messages date span, that text content. We're going to set that equal to the message date that we set down here, right there. Cool. So now, hopefully, if everything works out, technically we should see some messages come in. So we there. And of course there's an error. Constant. Oh, that's it as a constant? Let me see.
Map for each.
Yeah. Events. Wait, what? Did I set that to? Wait, what? What is this saying? Oh, I think it's. Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad. This is supposed to be. What did I name it before? I knew that was going to bite me. The where is it? List messages. That's what it was. All right. Please work. Okay, great. Kind of. So what is this? Okay, so it's showing 10. Well, why did that come up like that? It's coming as an object. Weird.
Is it because you're setting text content? But you're adding in HTML?
Am I setting text content? Well, for that.
Oh, for those two you are.
Yeah, like
no, you said in
your
HTML, yeah.
Wait, why is this all? Hold on. Of course, something with my CSS. What did I do wrong here? Why is this not all the way out? Nope, I didn't do it. I think you
might have missed a closing div or something there.
Yeah, let's see. So yeah, chat.
Should that me have a span around it?
I mean, I mean, we can put one.
No, it shouldn't make a big difference. It just
okay. We're getting all this, and then it comes back. Formatted message.
You know what? I don't think it's this because it's been kind of held over to the left there before all of this. I think it's probably like CSS.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's a CSS thing. I'm just trying to figure out why is my object.
So why is it coming back like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Message feed. Yeah, no, it's message feed. Oh,
not messages. Yeah.
With the list message. Oh man. There we go.
Son of a gun.
It's always something. All right, and then we'll figure out this. Bam. There we go.
There we go.
All that. Wonderful. Now need to figure out why this is all.
I think it's in the HTML, Dwayne.
It's a styling thing somewhere. Okay, so why is that being? Oh, the joys of live coding. Let me see. Let's see. Something is making this.
The whole page, the whole div, like the main div, seems to be very.
Yeah. Messages is full.
Oh wait, that's supposed to be 80%. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like 80%. Oh,
that was Paul's fault. Paul said put pixels there. Paul did it. Paul.
Technically 80 and 80 pixels. I mean,
Paul.
But I'll take it. Yes.
It's fine. Hey, we found it and it was pretty quick, so that's good. Here. All right. So now, there we go. Cool. So now we have all these things. Now we have this button here, but it doesn't do anything yet. So let's go ahead and make that work. So let's get back to the JS. We have here we go. So now, like I said, we wanted to get the list of events. So like the next set of events. So we're going to,
sorry, Dwayne, just a bit timekeeping. We have about 15 minutes left. Is it worth doing the typing stuff rather than the loading of the previous page?
Well, I mean, it's going to be pretty quick. So let me, you know what? I'm just going to copy and paste it, and then we'll talk about it.
Sure.
Because it's like 2 lines, and it'll probably take me forever just to type the 2 lines. So we're just going to, because we already have the function to list the events. That's why we separated them out. Yeah. So it'll be a lot easier. So here we go. So we're going to get the next events. And so we're going to wait. So we have the listed events is what we were setting before. So that's why we set it before listed events. Summer. You asked me about it, but yeah. So we're listing the events. So where to go? So yeah. So we want to get the next events. And so we're going to list it, which we already created, that list messages, which goes into the formatting messages, and the list messaging added it to the thing. So now the get next, if we look at the conversation, because remember I showed with having the has next and has prev. There's also if you want to get, because before I had to go and do like earlier. Before I knew all the goodness that was there, I would have to go and look at the cursor and then send that off and do a whole bunch of other things. When just easy, you can do get next or get prev to get either the next or the previous ones. And so that's what that does. So, well, it's going to just work anyway. So let's do that. Refresh. Okay, so we have all these, right? Now it's showing just the previous 10, correct? So now when we hit load messages, and it's from September 28th, 9:09. So when we do this, so the button went away because there are no more pages to get from. But then you see it added 3 more. So now that we have the 3, so this is when it started off, and it's from 8:48.
Yeah.
Great. So the button worked. Awesome. Now, what happens when we want to be able to send and receive messages? So let's do that real quick. And so those are event listeners on the actual conversation. So what we want to do is in our setup, we want to set up the different conversation events. And so underneath this here, again, I'm just going to copy and paste it and talk through it because as you can tell, I am horrible at typing. So
I have a perfect sound effect for you typing a lot of code.
Oh, nice. We're gonna, because we're just gonna.
A few moments later.
Pretty much, yes. So, bam. So now let's walk through what we just did here. So, anytime there's a new text event, we're gonna listen for it on the conversation, and then when that happens, we're gonna send the sender information and the event to our formatted message that we did before to tell whether it's us or them, pretty much. And then it'll format it, come back, and then it'll add it to the message feed. And then we're going to update the count on there for every new message. And then next, we're going to listen for clicks on the send button. So when we click send, we're going to, there's a nifty method on there. You just send the text and you just send the value, which is kind of amazing. And then we're going to listen for key presses. So this is where the start typing stuff happens. And so anytime there's a key press, we're going to send a start typing function to the conversation. And that's going to let everyone else know listening that someone is typing. And then for us, so then when the typing stops, we're going to wait for 500 milliseconds. So like half of a second, I think. So whenever there's a stop, when there's a delay between the key presses, we're going to send a stop typing event to let everyone else know that it stopped typing. And now if we do receive a on typing, so it's a text, but typing on, we're going to put in the status. And if it's not us, if the information that's coming from the event is not us, that's what we're checking here, then we're going to set that status to say whatever username is typing. And we should probably make that text content be a little bit more secure. And then once we get the typing off, then it's going to be set to nothing, just a blank space. All right, so that should be everything. Let's see what happens. All right, so I'm going to enter in now. Cool, so we got the information. Hope. Oh, see, right there, Paul is typing.
So Paul's on the iOS client in the same conversation.
Yeah, let me share my screen quick so you can see that I'm not faking it. It's literally.
Yeah, and so
unfortunately, my app doesn't have the typing indicators implemented, but I'm sending them, but not kind of checking the others when they're coming.
And so, yeah, there we go. Awesome.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that all these different things is kind of all the typing indicators and kind of everything that's happening. And probably one thing you might have noticed here in the iOS version is we have this join stuff. Those are just different events of different types. So Dwayne in his JavaScript, he literally just looked at text, nothing else. In iOS, we added we're looking at the. Actually, let me load it quick and.
That's weird. Why is that doing that? I can't. Oh, weird.
What is doing?
Oh well, no. Like my Chrome is refusing to be just one thing. I don't know. It works, so we're good. I will figure out why that has nothing to do with the code. It's just a weird Chrome thing.
Yeah. Cool. That looks really good.
So yeah. So any questions or anything anybody has in the chat?
No, I think people have. I think people are good. What I want to do just for a couple of minutes, just to show the conversation API and kind of prepare the ground for next time. So let me remove my screen and then share a different tab. That was really good, Dwayne. I really enjoyed it. I learned some tricks in JavaScript as well. So yeah.
Well, thanks.
It's always confusing when you go into a language and you have things like maps and arrays and trying to understand the difference, and then you have a map method on the array.
Well, see, that's the thing. JavaScript is so efficient that it even limits the things that you can actually use, like the words. It's that efficient. So it's not a bug; it's a feature.
Yeah, exactly. So
everything's an object.
Yeah. So if you go to developer.nexmo.com, this is. Let me make it a bit smaller so you can see better what's happening here. Let's see. This is way better. Cool. So this is our developer portal where you can go in and kind of read about our APIs and read about different things we're doing. There are lots of good tabs here you can try. So the API reference is a good one, and you can go through different APIs and read all about them. We have an SDK and tools here. So we have a Client Sdk, which what we use today, we use the JavaScript Client Sdk, but we also have the Survey SDKs. The Survey SDKs are open source, and they're part of Oktoberfest. So if you'd like to win a T-shirt from Dropbox and socks from us, it's good if you can submit some PRs. We obviously have a CLI, and we have some framework-specific libraries. So we have Laravel for PHP, Rails, and the Spring Boot starter as well. But what I want to show you, just kind of in continuation of what we're doing here, we have all the different shows we're doing throughout October. We have daily streams, but this HDS, that's Oktoberfest daily stream, with different people, kind of doing an update on Oktoberfest in general. And I think today we have Martin Davis is going to be joining us at, I think it's 4 p.m. UTC, 5 London, 12 New York, 9 San Francisco. So if you drink your coffee in San Francisco, you can drink it with Martin in the morning. We have a page dedicated for Oktoberfest, and this is where you can go and see all the repositories you can contribute to. And it's pretty much what I just shown, plus some other repositories that we have on our community GitHub account. And this is the swag I was mentioning earlier. So if you make one valid contribution to our APIs, make sure you click the reward, claim the reward here, and you have a form. And I know that everyone that did last week before Fridays were kind of sent the socks. So it's all on time. But yeah, these are lovely kind of Vonage branded socks. Cool. So this is what we're doing as part of Oktoberfest and our weekly streams. One other thing. You might have noticed that there are lots of other streams apart from the daily stream, and those are our usual streams that don't just happen during October. So Michael is doing Mistakes Were Made tomorrow. We have Developer Drop-In. So Developer Drop-In is it has a different presenter on each show. Next one is Lorna. That's going to introduce our Go SDK. So that's quite
cool.
exciting. Yeah, it's a SDK that we promoted from a community to kind of support it. It's still in beta, but we kind of fully support it now. Yeah, and the other thing I want to show you is what we're going to do next in the next show in 2 weeks. So we're going to use this conversation APIs. Now let's skip through here. It's here. And we're going to use this API to build a backend to drive our apps. So what you've seen that we use, we kind of hack out the GWTs and the conversations. So kind of, it's not best practice, and you shouldn't do that at home, right? So you should have a server. Plus, we don't the whole conversation thing and the whole way the Client SDK works, it doesn't provide authentication in any way. GWT is just a way to provide authorization to certain actions that you're doing in the context of an application and a conversation. But that's it. That's driven by something else. And that something else is what we're going to build next time. We're going to build a backend in Node that is consuming the conversation APIs directly and provides a way for our mobile apps to, and I'm including the JavaScript one as mobile because it's just kind of using the Client SDK, and it's this kind of idea of a mobile internet. But this backend is going to be used to drive all of those. So they're going to provide GWTs. They're going to provide lists of conversations for a particular user. So think of it as a standard app that allows you to log in. You specify username and password. We're going to send that to the backend server. The backend server will decide if that's valid. If it's valid, it's going to send you back a GWT that will allow you to log in inside the to authorize inside the Nexmo client. I need to use the right words because they mean different things. And then you'll have different endpoints to get lists of conversations, list of users in that particular application, because that means you'll be able to start conversations with those users if you don't already have. And eventually, it'll provide other things that we might want to add. But that's kind of a start, and that's where we're aiming at the moment. Have a look through this API. It's fairly straightforward. It has a lot of different endpoints. It's quite complex. But the idea is you have conversations.
It's robust. It's robust. We make it everything you need. It's robust.
Yeah. You have the concept of user. So the user is within the application, and then within the context of a conversation, you have member. And then inside the conversation, you also have events. And then there's this concept of a leg that we're not going to get to, but it has to do more with audio and kind of other things we're going to discuss later on in the show. Cool. That's all I had to say. This has been a really enjoyable show. It took a bit.
I was going to say nerve-wracking, but I guess enjoyable is also good.
Yeah, but I definitely enjoyed it, and it was great to do stuff kind of live and help each other. I really enjoy. We don't get to spend a lot of time doing kind of pair programming because we have different verticals, and I'm doing mainly iOS and other stuff. And other people are doing different things. So, yeah, it's all good.
Well done, Dwayne. That was really cool.
Oh, well, thank you. It was something, but I appreciate it. So thank you. So thanks to everybody in the chat. So, thanks everyone also for watching.
And we have a voucher code. I think it's voucher. Maybe we don't have this command. But we have a voucher code that you can use to get 10 euros to play with our APIs. And I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find it out. We'll send it around. Cool. Any final thoughts, gents?
Come say hi in the community Slack. And
And then
also because it's hard times for a bunch of people. And so if you can, if you can look up your local food bank or what have you, and maybe make a donation or something. I know it's amazing. Here in Orlando, it was like every $1 is like 4 meals or something.
Wow.
And so, if you can, just, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, join Michael on his other channel where he does a lot of good stuff and helps lots of kids as well. So I'm a big fan of him on what he's doing on his private chat.
Yeah, Michael's awesome.
Yeah, the bold bearded. No, it's beard builder. Is it bold bearded builder?
It's bald on everything except Twitter. It's bald bearded builder, but Twitter doesn't allow you to have a handle that's that long.
Yes.
Stupid Twitter.
Always trying to keep somebody down.
I know.
Twitter. I was bearded, but then I had a mishap shaping up the beard. And I was like, just get rid of it.
Been there.
I'm not sure how we allowed you on this stream.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't have. I think that's what happened. Like I lost the beard and I lost my coding prowess. I was just like, oh.
It's like Samson. It's like Samson. You got your beard cut and
you didn't, but it's always nerve-wracking when everyone is watching and there's a lot of pressure, so don't feel bad.
Hopefully it was clear. That's my hope, whole hope, that it was kind of clear enough, or at least that you want to learn more. So again, community Slack if anybody wants to reach out. Or I guess Twitter. I mean, I'm kind of on Twitter, but it's more of like a reply thing. So if you hit me up on Twitter, I'll reply, but I don't really post a lot.
Yeah, also Dwayne does a lot of kind of interesting small projects, and every so often you'll hear something new. What was that timer that you showed us the other day?
Hiphoptimer.com, but it's random. So my website is lifelong.dev. So just put a period in between long and dev, and then you'll get my website. And I'm sorry in advance. So yes.
Awesome. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
I can see Abdul in here as well.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, he's lurking there. Skywolf, Sadiptu. Yeah, Luke was there for a while, so it's great to see everyone in. Thank you all for joining us today. This has been amazing. I really had a lot of fun. So thank you for everything, and thank you, Dwayne and Michael, for joining me, and Dwayne especially for typing.
Kind of typing. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. If you want to call it typing.
Next time we should use GitHub code spaces or something. So all of us
that'd be cool.
at the same time, and help you with the typing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Thank you so much, gents. Have a good day, and I'll see you later. Join us at 5 p.m. UK time or 4 p.m. UTC for the daily stream with Martin.
Yep, coming up later.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, thanks, everyone. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.